Hello, my friends. Jeffrey Schau here from Grow to Your Potential. And last week, I introduced the series that we're going to be discussing for the next weeks to months ahead on the topic of conflict management. And today, I'm excited to be sharing with you the first segment of that series as we start on talking about communication and its role in conflict. I've often heard it said that failed communication is the primary cause for conflict. And I must say, in my experiences, I have definitely found that to be true. It seems no matter how hard I've tried to improve my ability to communicate, to be understood, and understand others, I still run into challenges. There's still misunderstandings and failed communication. At times, those failures seem so repetitive and so close together that I kind of feel like, why do I even bother? Why do I even try to communicate, to be understood, if I'm just going to be misunderstood? Why do I try to understand others if I'm only going to end up in more conflict? And I'm sure you've probably felt the same way at times. But I want to encourage you, my friends, not to give up. Don't let your past failures define your future. Don't let past struggles and challenges discourage you from growing in your ability to communicate. You are a person of value and worth, and what you have to say matters. You have insights and you see things from certain perspectives that others don't. You see our blind spots that we need to know about if we're going to grow to our potential. And it's through the sharing of our ideas, sharing of our perspectives and insights that we build each other up. We encourage one another and we can grow to our potential together. So what you have to say does matter. So please continue to grow in your ability to communicate. Don't let those past failures dictate your future. My speaking mentor, Roddy Galbraith, says that learning to communicate requires effort to develop to the point where we can delegate it to habit. Did you catch that? It requires effort to develop to the point where we can delegate it to habit. Yeah. Communication is not something that comes naturally. It is a learned skill. Did you catch that? Learned skill. It's something we learn over time. We can grow in this ability. And it's so important that we do so. And for myself, despite my past failures, I can tell you, my friends, I've experienced the fruit of my labor. I've continued to grow in my ability to communicate with friends, family, colleagues. And as I have done this, yes, I have come across failures. I still struggle at times to navigate away from that unhealthy conflict and really embrace that healthy conflict that we so much need. But despite these failures, I continue to grow. I take the time to learn, to evaluate my experiences, and improve my ability to communicate. And here's a really important tip I want to give you today is as I've grown my capacity to communicate and avoid being misunderstood, I don't just mean how I speak, the words I use, how I get my ideas across. More importantly, I have grown my ability to listen well, to understand what others are trying to say, how to ask questions, to explore and draw more out to ensure I am understanding what they are saying. Because it's when I understand others that and what they're trying to say that I am then in a better position to be able to add value to them, to communicate my insights and be able to connect it with where they're at. And that's where that true connection starts to come in, and our ability to engage in that healthy conflict that we need becomes a reality. So again, I want to encourage you, my friends, don't give up. Never give up. You may have heard that this summarizes NGO. Let that be your motto for this. Never give up. Continue to grow in your capacity to communicate effectively, to speak to be understood, and to listen to understand. I can promise you this, it's going to require effort and a lot of work and time. It doesn't come fast, it doesn't come easy. But I can also guarantee you this, it will be worth it. Worth it. It has been worth it in my life. It has benefited my family, my friends, and we're on a journey together. And I hope that you're going to join me on this journey to grow to your potential as you learn to communicate more effectively, better, so you can embrace that healthy conflict we need. Because remember, we are better together. We need each other. We're not meant to be silos off on our own. And if we're going to be able to tap into our potential and that which others have to offer to us to help us grow, and do the same for them to help them grow, we need to improve our ability to communicate, to listen well, and to speak to be understood, and be willing to brave the conflict that's going to ensue. It may be inevitable, but we can navigate it to ensure it's beneficial. I hope I've added value today to you, to help encourage you, to help you think of some new ways and new thoughts on how you can grow to your potential. So hit that like button, share it with others. Join me again next week as we continue to talk about communication and its role in conflict, and how you can learn to grow in your capacity to communicate, to avoid those failures, and embrace that healthy conflict we so need. Thank you again for joining me today. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again next week.